Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the continuation of our last video where we actually introduced ourselves to JMeter and we did try hitting API and adding a summary report to our JMeter request and see the response from the server. So in this video, I'm going to go a step beyond what we learned last time. So let's see the same request, for example. Today we have a new endpoint where the server name and the path are same, but you see the parameter has been changed. So we can try that using the previous request that we just hit, right? So this is the previous request. Now let me try to duplicate this. You have an option to duplicate this request, right? Now we have the same request duplicated, but here in this case the key will be something else. What is the new key that we got? The new parameter is 95713A50. Let's input that here in the value, and the previous one I think I just had a typo. Okay, so these are our two requests now. For more clear to get more clear picture of this request, right, I'm just appending the HTTP request with the value, so we know like what exact request is hit when we run the API. Now let's check the thread group here. Now I have 10. I don't need 10 actually. Let's make it 2, and the ramp up was actually 1. This is the default values that we get, but I just added 2 users here, and let's see, let's run this one. Alright, so you see, since I added 2 users here, what's happening is 2 threads are running per request. So total altogether we have 4 requests here, and looks good, right? But what happens if your key values are continuously changing, right? You might have number of endpoints tomorrow and you might have like 50 or 60 different APIs to check. So each time you can't duplicate this request. That's not a efficient way of doing. So in that case, right, we can always have one request and try to parameterize the key value, the value that it. See, if we notice here, right, in these two APIs, what is constantly changing is your parameter. So let us parameterize this part, the key part, and keep everything as it is. In that case, we don't have to duplicate so many requests here, and very efficiently we can make use of just one request. Let's give it a try. So I'm right now removing this. I don't need this anyway. So we'll make use of only one HTTP request here and try to pass different key values to this, right? So for that, right, you have an excellent feature for configuring or parameterizing using the CSV data config. I think it got stuck. Alright, so let's try to add. Okay, it has to be under plan level, and then try to add a config element, which is in this case CSV data config set. So from CSV you are trying to pass some values to your request, right? Now let us first create a CSV file. I'll just have a new CSV file here. It's a basic one, and then let me give it a name. So the value is the name of the column, and then what value you are trying to pass here, let's configure it from the CSV itself. So the first value is this.
Doggy fly.
Alright, and then we have the second value, which is 95713A50. So we are configuring 2 values here in the CSV file. Okay, and then what is, I don't want this. I don't think it will actually affect the font, so let's keep it as it is, and I'm going to save it as demo CSV. and let's go to our JMeter. So here you have to give the file name. So I'm navigating it to demo CSV. Open this, and now variable names are what we have. So in our case we only have one variable. I'm passing only, I created one variable for value and I have two values there. Ignore first line, I make it true, because in our CSV, if you see, I don't want it to take the value. I want to ignore the first line and take everything after that. So the setting is based on that, and everything is comma separated, and then allow quoted test. I don't want to change it. Recycle end of the file, this will leave it as it is to true, because if in case we have like 50 or 60 and lot of thread groups, it just keeps on recycling the CSV. And stop end of the thread, okay, false, and that's it. I'm not changing anything. The only thing I made is I created a CSV for values and I gave my two values here. Now I saved my CSV as demo CSV, and in the JMeter script I am telling it to use this demo CSV. Oh, okay, this is the wrong format. Since I'm on Mac, right, I have to export it to this CSV. Let me quickly export this to CSV, and then I'll give it the same name, demo CSV. All right, and then in the CSV file, the config, I'm actually telling it to use this CSV file. Okay, and then all right, so I'm asking it to use demo CSV, which is in the format of CSV, and everything is same. All right, so what happens here is now we have to let the script note what parameter to use, right? So in the CSV file we named it as value. So where exactly it should go is here, right? So how the way to let it know to use the value is always have it a $sign flower bracket and then value. So what it will do is it will go, whenever it encounters this in the script, it will understand to go to the CSV data config and use the value exactly what it is set in the CSV file. So the same thing, I don't want to hard code anything, so I'm just passing the value over here. Okay, and see the thread group, like how it is set up. So we are setting it to run two threads, so two different users, one for each key value, and then everything is set. So let us try to run it. All right, you see. Okay, so we asked it to run 2 times, and the key value it is taking is from the CSV itself. So in the request, if you see, we nowhere mentioned the key directly, but it is coming from the CSV. The same thing, if you see the second request also, the value which we set here, it is the parameter, right? It is coming from the CSV file. So this is just for 2 requests. What in case if you have like to have your API run for 10 different key values, right? It is very easy. All the time you can just go to your CSV file and keep on adding the key values here. Isn't it easy? So let's do one more step here. So you see the server name isn't changing, right? So let us parameterize this as well. I don't want to use my server name directly. So let's go to the same CSV and add a new value here for server name. Use this server name for the values. All right. So what I do is come to the script and tell it tell it to use server name value from the CSV. Okay, so here we are parameterizing 2 values. So one is the value here in the parameters section, and also the server name we are parameterizing. Now we have to tell the CSV also, right, that to use the next variable that we set, which is comma separated and then server name. The order here how we give should be exactly same as how you define here, which is value comma server name. Now let's go back to this script, and I'm trying to restart it. I don't have anything here. Try to run it. Oh, something wrong. Let us figure it out. Okay, it is not taking the server name. Okay, one reason could be maybe I did not save it. So let us first save whatever I changed here, and now try to rerun this. Sorry about that. Again, okay, same problem. So let me try to, this is because I'm working on Mac, right? Let me export it. I'm sorry. Okay, now I saved it to the CSV and try to run this. All right, now it took the server name correctly, right? The server name, it's nowhere in the request that we are passing, but it is coming from the CSV file. So in this way you can or parameterize any number of values that you want. So same thing, if you want to run for 10 different threads, the concept is same. I'm just expanding the user count here. So just run it and see. All right, it gave 10 different requests, and you see the summary report, and that gives you more information. So each of these requests, if you see, so for example, the first request ran for 5 samples with 447 average response time. Same thing, the second one with this key, it ran for 5 different samples and 385 milliseconds. So if you have to project the performance result, right, we always can say that the second request performed better than the first one. So this is how it helps us configuring. Now if you see the ramp up time, right, ramp up time is nothing but like let me shorten this number of threads and explain you what ramp up time is. Okay, so I'm trying to run for 2 different users here, and the ramp up time I'll put as 10 seconds. Okay, let me show you the result. First request is hit. Now it will wait for 10 seconds before it starts the second one. So this is more important because you actually try to relate it with the real time, right? So why are we actually increasing the user count is to see the server response when 2 different users are hitting at the same time, right? Usually at the same time, in the sense like the 2 different people hitting at the same time is not that realistic, right? If I hit at one time, like there might be little lag that the second person might hit it too. It depends on the use case that you are actually focusing it, but in the real time always the ramp up time is important, because not every person will hit the server at a time. If you have to simulate like higher number of users, right, or 200 or 300 people hitting the same service or at a time is not that realistic. Maybe each one will hit in gap of 10 seconds. So that's how we need to configure here. Like the ramp up time is the time that each one, like the time gap between the requests, which makes it more realistic scenario. Okay, if I make it 20 seconds, right, and then run it, you look at the response, how it is trying, it is hitting. So the first request is hit. Now we got the response. Now you are giving server 20 seconds time to wait and then hit the second one. This is the way you will configure it. So make number of changes to your thread group, and you'll understand like more and more you relate it with the real time example. It helps you a lot. So in this video we actually learned how to configure a CSV dataset and drive the parameters through the CSV file, and also use a thread ramp up time and simulate the real time production like scenario. I hope you all follow it and try to practice this, and you get more hands on. And stay safe and healthy. I'll talk to you all in the next session, guys. Bye bye.